Most websites nowadays are optimized for mobile browsers, so when you visit a website on your iPhone, chances are that the website will load up in a mobile version rather than the full desktop version. This means that despite the size of your phone's screen, text and other elements will be relatively easy to read, as is the case in this example of businessweek.com. To scroll the page, swipe your finger across the screen up or down. If you're at the bottom of a very long page and you need to get back to the top, you can of course scroll several times until you get there. But the iPhone has a special gesture that will let you get to the top of the page without even having to scroll. Just tap the top of the screen and you'll be instantly taken all the way up. Most mobile websites also offer the option to switch to the full version of the site. In most cases, you'll find that option somewhere at the bottom of the page. Here it is in this case. I'll tap the link and this is how the website is viewed on a regular computer browser. You can clearly see that the text and other elements are more difficult to read, but thankfully the iPhone has some features that will allow you to read text in full version websites more easily. The first feature we'll look at is the layout orientation. This feature can also be used on mobile websites, but in this case, if you find the contents of a page a bit difficult to understand, you can simply flip the phone horizontally. This will switch the display to landscape layout, which will give the page more width to use. You can clearly see that both the text and other elements are easier to read and understand. But this obviously comes at the cost of less usable height, so you'll have to do more scrolling to span the entire page. Still, having the display in landscape layout can be useful on many occasions. Regardless of the layout, there are additional functions and gestures that can help improve the legibility of text and other elements. A very useful one is zooming. You zoom into an area of the page by pinching out with 2 fingers on a certain spot. To zoom out, just pinch in with your fingers. And since many websites have text and other elements structured in columns, the iPhone offers yet another way to zoom in on portions of a page. To zoom in using this method, double tap the column you're interested in focusing on. And the column will be resized and repositioned to perfectly fit your screen. You can scroll up or down to read more of the text. And when you need to zoom out of the column, just double tap the text again. When you come across text-heavy pages, sometimes it's difficult to read without having to zoom in. And when you get the text to a legible size, you then have to drag the page back and forth to be able to read everything. But Safari is able to detect large chunks of text on most web pages, and when it does, you'll see this button labeled Reader in the address bar. Tapping it brings up a version of the web page with just the text and images, ignoring the layout of the page itself and any other distractions such as ads and interface elements. So as you can see here, we have the title of the article, the text, and any images in the article. And overall, I can read the text of the page much more easily this way. You'll also find this font size button in the upper left-hand corner, which you can use to adjust the size of the text to your convenience. Reader also recognizes when articles span multiple web pages and automatically loads the text from subsequent pages at once. So in most cases, you won't have to tap any links to get to the following pages. When you're finished reading, tap Done to exit the reader mode and return to the original page.